is up, guys? Welcome back to the Hardcore Fab Shop. On today's video, I've got some good news, I've got some bad news. We're going to do a little show prep on this bad boy, and I finally get to open up a Hookers and Blow video with a little bit of smoke. Well, that was a far cry from the Australian style burnout that I wanted to do for you guys for Hookers and Blow's debut here, but it's a smoke show nonetheless, and I'll give you guys a full video of it here in a second, but that's about as much as we're going to get, you know, as far as smoke show for right now, because the transmission is still jacked up in this thing. Actually, let me back up. I don't think the transmission is messed up. I don't think the other transmission was messed up. I think the control box that was running both transmissions is messed up. And the reason being is the other transmission was rebuilt, you know, with some badass good parts in there, new converter, the whole 9 yards. And it does the exact same thing as this transmission that's in here now, which I had drove on before and knew was good. So no, that one's good, and it's doing the same thing as the other one, and the other one should have been good. It tells me that it's probably not the transmissions. It's probably the control box, because there's nothing else left on these to, you know, make it act wrong. So I think that's what it is, and that's still something I'm going to have to address here in the future. So that's one of the bad things we're going to be talking about today. And I'm also, like I said, going to get this thing all prepped up and ready for the car show coming up. So I've got some stuff there to do with that, but let me go ahead and show you guys the rest of the smoke show real quick, and then we'll get started doing some of the other stuff I got to do to get this thing ready. So for take one, Connor found out real quick that he was in the line of fire of all this flying rubber, and he stepped back and had some stuff hit him in the face, and then when he did, he stepped back and his thumb hit the screen there and turned the camera around towards him, so we ended up having to do take two on this deal. And Ty was here for take two, so he got you guys some video from the outside. So another one of the bad things I want to talk about is the fact that this side looks really good with this burnout. We've got some nice rubber laying there on the floor. Actually got a little bit more contact there on those tires than I figured we would. Of course, they only have about 30 pounds of air in them, 40 pounds of air, something like that. So not that much air. But on this side, we ain't got shit. Nothing. So yeah, definitely going to have to address that, because the old two-wheel peel on the one side does not cut it for me. We need to do all 4 duals up in smoke on this thing to make it really work. Also, still am planning on doing a bench seat in there at some point. All aluminum, all bead rolled, all, you know, million rivets, the whole 9 yards in there, of course, on all that. So that's going to happen at some point, and fixing those headers is still going to happen at some point too, because they work, but they don't sound as good as I'd like them to sound, and I also don't really like the look of them. So we're going to have to do something with that too. Might even add in a flamethrower or something like that. That'd be kind of cool to do that. But in preparation for the car show that's coming up, the only little bit of fab work I really need to take care of is this grill. I've got a couple of zip ties here holding this thing on. Well, they're not really zip ties. They're the type of zip tie that comes loose. But anyways, that grill right there, bouncing around, I only had just some little tacks in there where I scrunched everything all together. So one of those tacks in there broke. Now the grill's kind of sagging without the zip ties on there. So I need to go in there and pull that off and weld that up a little bit better. It's one of the few little things that I wanted to do before we went to SEMA that I didn't get done real good. It was holding up so it lasted the trip, and that's kind of really all it was meant to do at the time. So got to address that now. I still need to do something here to mount the front of the hood as well. It's just been kind of sitting there with just the Zeus clips here on the side holding it in. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do there yet. So I've been just kind of tabling that whole mess until I make up my mind exactly what I'm going to do there. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this real quick, and then we'll get this thing cleaned up. So that was a pretty quick, easy fix on the grill. I think it's time to go ahead and get this thing cleaned up a little bit and then go ahead and apply some more sweet patina. Now, I didn't do this before, but Sweet Patina had sent over some of this cleaner right here. It's the Sweet Patina So Fresh Clean All-Purpose Cleaner. That's what it's called, I guess. And before, I just kind of blew it off and wiped the Sweet Patina on because it's about all I had time for, because I was within a few hours of when I was leaving for SEMA. So this time I'm going to actually take some of their cleaner and see if I can get some of this extra dirt and stuff off of here. It wasn't bad before, and it's not bad now, but it has been sitting here in the shop. I have been using the plasma table. It has been outside a few days, and I have a dirt alley with a gas station next door that everybody drives through. So it does have dirt and grime and crap on it. So I want to see how much will actually come off with this and see if this stuff's any good. So that's just in this one spot right here. You guys already see me wipe it off. I also blew everything off, and it's still bringing that much dirt off of there. So I'm going to go ahead and use it on the rest of the truck and clean up this thing, and then go ahead and see what it looks like with another coat of Sweet Patina on it. Well, I think it's safe to say that it works. There is a lot of crap on these rags from just the cab of the truck. And I guess now it's clean, or maybe hopefully clean enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and try another coat of Sweet Patina. Well, Sweet Patina is on, and it didn't change the truck all that much. It's a little bit shinier looking right now, but the color pretty much stayed the same. And I think that's an awesome thing because the color changed a bunch the first go around. So since it didn't change much this time, I think that tells us that the Sweet Patina hasn't evaporated or rubbed off the truck. So that's pretty awesome. It's holding up pretty good. And I think it's probably going to dull out just a little bit since I just put it on there. You know, the next day or so, it'll probably flatten out just a little bit more. So I'm really happy with the way that stuff really turns out. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to put it on some of the other stuff around the shop here. That'll be another video for another day. On today's video, though, I think we're about done with this. But before we go, I have to do a shout out to US Motor Works because they're freaking awesome. They sent us over this trophy here for winning the Radical Rod Build-Off, and I think that's pretty sweet that they did that. And I'm going to show you guys this a little bit closer here. There's a tranny cooler here, and then there's a couple of remote oil filter reservoirs there where the oil filter go on the bottom there. And they kind of stuck it together there and got a nice little plaque on top of there. It's pretty sweet. They really didn't have to do that, so that was awesome of them that they did that. And I just want to say thank you to you guys over at US Motor Works. You guys might also recognize US Motor Works by some of their divisions that they have. You see Durrell Performance up here on the top. So they have Durrell Performance. They also have USMW. They also have OSC. And they also have Pacer Performance. So again, thank you guys for the trophy. I really appreciate it, and you guys keep them in mind for some of the parts that you guys might need. Go look up their sites if you haven't found them yet, or if you're not familiar, and see what all they've got, because they got a bunch of good quality parts over there. And I guess with that, that's about all I got for you guys on today's video, so we'll see you on the next one.